Hospitals remain overwhelmed with coronavirus patients in Imperial County, just south of the Coachella Valley, and doctors there are worried tonight the crisis will soon get even worse. The governor recently telling the county it must reinstate a stay-at-home order, and it now has the most restrictive requirements of any county in the state of California. News Channel 3 I-Team investigator Peter Dowd traveled to Imperial County to get a closer look at what's happening there, the reasons behind the surge in cases, and what it means for us right here in Riverside County. Peter.
John, I drove about 2 hours south to Imperial County's largest hospital, which doctors describe as a war zone. And I discovered what's happening there with coronavirus directly affects what's happening here. With its vast farm fields, quiet roads, and sparsely populated communities, it's almost hard to believe that Imperial County, with only 180,000 residents, has the highest per capita infection rate of coronavirus in all of California. According to its public health department, the county has had about 6,200 cases among 30,700 people tested, a positive rate of about 20%. That's much higher compared to neighboring Riverside County's 11.8%.
So it's very alarming.
Carmina Ramirez knows firsthand how easily the virus can spread. She says 5 of her relatives who live in different parts of Imperial County recently tested positive after a family gathering.
Some of them had mild symptoms, and others had about like a 2-month period of fever and cough.
But her 72-year-old cousin, Jose, died. Jose's sister says her family is her world. Though she considers herself lucky to have survived the virus, she says her brother's death has been devastating. The sadness of losing my brother to this virus, she says, is something no family should have to experience. El Centro Regional Medical Center is Imperial County's largest hospital, and it began to fill up with coronavirus patients in late April, many of them taken here to tents out in the parking lot. Other patients were taken to hospitals hours away, including the Coachella Valley.
It's exhausting, it's tasking, and it's not easy.
Dr. Adolf Edward is the CEO of El Centro Medical Center and says the hospital's 20-bed intensive care unit remains overwhelmed with sick patients. In the last month alone, more than 500 patients had to be transported outside of the county, and he expects that number to grow. Is it surprising to you that Imperial County is getting hit so hard?
I am very surprised that we are getting the high numbers that we're seeing. It is not a single factor, and it's not a single issue. It's not just from the community, it's from across. It's a multitude of things.
Andy says that includes Imperial County's proximity to the U.S.-Mexico border. Mexicali, with nearly 4,900 cases and 840 deaths, is among the hardest hit places in Mexico, and many U.S. citizens living there have fled overcrowded hospitals to seek treatment north of the border.
Coronavirus does not know borders. Coronavirus knows that it attacks people that are not doing the right things we keep talking about. It's folks going back and forth at rates that are high.
Doctors say another factor may be cultural. Imperial County has the largest household size of any county in California, which may be explained by the large number of Hispanic families that by tradition often live in multi-generational households. Imperial County is about 85% Hispanic, and doctors say it's challenging for many infected people there to quarantine. What lessons can Riverside County learn from Imperial County?
Be prepared to expand your capabilities in all your hospitals. Be prepared to figure out ways that you have not thought of before. Remain flexible because plans will change, and what you planned for is not what's going to happen. So be very flexible.
Why should people here in Riverside County care about what's happening in Imperial County?
A family of 4 can move tomorrow from Imperial County to Riverside County, and they can all be an asymptomatic COVID positive.
As for Carmina Ramirez, she continues to quarantine at home with her husband and daughter, concerned the virus that has already brought so much pain to her family will keep doing the same for other families throughout the county.
We should be worried, and we should be taking precautions.
This week, Imperial County's Board of Supervisors came up with an action plan in response to Governor Newsom's call for the county to stop its reopening. That plan includes closing all non-essential businesses and parks and encouraging people to stay home as much as possible. For the I-Team, Peter Doubt, News Channel 3.
It really drives home just how serious this can be. Thank you, Peter. Do you have a tip you want the I-Team to investigate? Well, tell us about it. Email us, iteam@kesq.com, or call the KESQ newsroom.